So this is what we're doing today. So this is a bad idea conceptually, right? Like, why would I take the most interconnected system of things in the history of things and then want to vibe code through it? Well, if they implemented it correctly, and mapping they have, and we'll see that in a moment, this is actually a lifesaver. Like, just the title, vibe code your existing WordPress, it speaks volumes to how much they thought about the problem, because it's different to vibe code a new thing in comparison to vibe coding or vibe maintaining an existing thing. And the Kintsu people who I met, and they're very nice, are trying to solve this exact problem. Essentially what they give you is this: a chat box interface for your WordPress website, existing WordPress website. Note that this is a Cloudways WordPress site that I set up. It's actually live and running. Here's the website, here's the backend, like a fully functional website. This is not fake. And then this chat box actually does thing inside chat box, the box, not the bot. The chat does things inside the website in practice. And it's a read and a write, which is very, very powerful. More specifically, I gave it some tasks just before we joined. First and foremost, I told it, can you tell me what plugins it has? It listed all the plugins. I had one disabled plugin, which is the Hello Dolly one. I asked it to delete it. It deleted it. I wanted to change the title of the website. It was it was this. And then I wanted to change it to Tom's website. It did. And then I wanted to install a plugin. And then I said, well, what do I need from it? I need it to install it. I need it to configure it properly. And then I need to test it and tell me what API tokens it needs if we're using a custom SMTP server, which is like external to the WordPress website. And it did. It gave the options. It configured it. I told it postmark, told me exactly what I need to do, and take it from there. But all of these are maintenance. Now, mind you, if you watched my HubSpot video, you'll know that this is actually very similar conceptually. Like, in HubSpot, what I did was I took an external approach using Claude Code to use the REST API and the MCP and a little bit of Breeze to do things inside of the platform with this like before, execute, and after loop. So before we audited the situation, we executed some sort of script, and then we audited the situation after just to kind of make sure that we didn't miss and didn't break anything. So this does all of that loop internally. It checks, it executes, and then it lets you know what the situation was after. But again, all of this maintenance, while super useful for SEO and general maintenance of the website, I've heard stories of people using it to go from like 8-second to 1-second loading time of like random WordPress issues, because this really does hook into the platform. I think the next thing is design. And I gave it this idea, which I told it, I want to have a neo-brutalist theme to it. And it came from another website that I have, which I kind of give as it's like the name, it's like the domain of the company. I never actually spent any time building it, but I generated like a programmatic SEO and completely neo-brutalist theme for it, just so I can kind of test things around with my programmatic SEO tooling. And then I told it, what if you can convert this into neo-brutalist theme? This is a complicated problem for many reasons. First of all, this is not Elementor or anything. It's like raw WordPress, which makes it easier in a sense. I actually don't know if this will work with Elementor or not. It's worth testing. I don't have a setup for it, but it would be cool to see if you can actually use this with Elementor websites. But if it can design, scaffold the theme correctly so it works well on desktop and on mobile, and also do all the right things to set the theme up for success for the next pages we want to build, this is a game changer. This is something that would have taken an agency a lot of time to do. Like it's a proper project. It takes us. So what it did in practice is it ran some PHP code. I can't drop down and look into it, which kind of sucks, but it's fine. Then it told me what it wanted to do: a new homepage, site-wide new Brutally CSS. Yes, that's actually great. How are you going to implement it? And this is, I think, the core of the platform. So if it's using proper themes and proper Gutenberg and making the files proper, and then also adding comments on the files in a way that makes sense, it essentially solves two problems at one. First, the actual transformation, but more than that, the upkeep of the actual website is made much easier in that way, because you have a code base, which is the PHP source code of the installation and all the updates to the theme that is being done. And I have this agent continuously managing it. One of the things that I don't know if they have, but we probably should at some point look into, is like schedule jobs. It would be cool if you had like an ongoing scheduled maintenance routine for it, but I'm digressing. So this is going to change, build a short code for the hero section, create a new page of draft, that's fine. And then show me the preview, and then publish and set to a static web page. Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and start building. It's funny because I don't know if you noticed, but it did divide the problem into two parts. So like the site-wide CSS, which is the right way to solve the creating of the new theme, editing the new theme. It also does all of the, we will set it and publish it and do all the work. So I'm going to let it be for a moment, and I'm going to come back to it once it's done. While we're waiting for the agent to finish, I do want to talk about their AI-powered features thing, which is like insanely cool. What they're saying is, what does a feature look like in a normal website? You'll have like a PR that you open, and then you see the code, and then usually you have like a preview deployment where you can preview just a feature on some deployment server, like preview server. And then when it's live, you have this box, right? Like there was the PRD, and then the PR, and then the code, and the commits, and yada, yada, yada. In WordPress, it doesn't really work like that. Like you can't really build a new feature into the website and have it encapsulated in the same way. It's often scattered across multiple files. Version control is not the best, and there's like, it's not the same as building a product. They basically said, we will build that for you. And the way it works is they have this add-on section, which is essentially creating features by the AI agent for the website. So then if you want, for example, I don't know, add a contact us form, which is a feature, or add a resource center, which is a feature, you can have the agent encapsulated in a box and then come back to it and change just this feature with the context the agent has on that feature. This is, if it works properly, surprisingly powerful. I'm not sure we're going to get to it in this video, but it is one of those things where I'm like, if this works well and I want to maintain a website over time, it's going to be one of the best things that I can think of. One extra thing is the design and visual edits part of it, which we're going to do now. It's the way they think about the problem of WordPress websites. And I've ran probably dozens of marketing websites in WordPress throughout my career. This is exactly the type of requests you get from customers. Like the font's too small, it's not spaced out enough, the CTA is not great. Like these are the comments you actually get. And they said, well, you can actually just give it to the chat box and it will just work. And then you can see that it kind of made a plan. I'm going to approve it. And then I'm going to wait until it's done. I will say that it's not the fastest tool in the world, but I think that there's multiple reasons for it on the back end. First of all, it's not overloading, I think, the website with requests to make sure to respect kind of the server. I do think also that they do a lot of internal checking. Like that's for real. Note that they flushed the cache during like the deployment of the site, which is very, very cool. And now it's refreshing and it's going to show the new theme, which is redonkulous. The fact that they actually got to it, it's redonkulous. Like this is actually live on the amazing. And if I go into the website just to prove it, it actually changed it on the website. Now, sure, there are artifacts here. Like I don't love the spacing here. I don't absolutely, like I don't adore all the things here, but it actually works. The links, like it's actually live. The posts actually changed to look like they did the entire change. This is insane. Let's see what happens when you go into dev mode and look at like and make it into an iPhone SE. Insane. It is actually also responsive. This is ridiculous. They built the hamburger menu and everything. Like they changed the whole thing. And again, this was just one vibe coded feature. Imagine how far we can go through it. And I think I'm going to try one more thing before I'm going to let you guys go, but this is just one final thing I wanted to talk about was the way they actually work with version control, because I talked about it a moment ago, but I haven't actually went into it. A lot of tools in WordPress, like Elementor stuff, have a history feature. Like you should be able to look and roll back. In practice, a lot of rollbacking is not functional as I would expect it to. Like when I roll back a commit to a previous version of my website, not in WordPress, but like in a proper app, it's I would say, 100% stable. Like rolling back to a commit really does return the website back to the state that it was back then. In WordPress, it doesn't really look like that. Like it's not as evident as, I guess, with other toolings, other pieces of tooling. And therefore, I'm always a bit worried of, wait, will I be able to roll this back completely after I make this change? So what they're saying is they have this whole version control flow that they use, and they have like this draft situation that they have. And it feels like they solved a lot of these issues inside of the tool, which is very, very cool. I'm going to stop here. I feel like this probably deserves a different video where I really go deeper into the work. But this is, and then they build these animations. Oh my God, I didn't even do anything. It's just like, this is motion. This is actual motion. What is happening? This is on a draft, but like, oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, this is legit. And now you can also see that, like if I go into the draft, it shows the draft, which is what we just had. And then if I want to publish it, I can simply like look at oh my God. So when I want to publish it, this will actually publish the draft into the main website, and it's actually going to work. This is redonk. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting this to be this good, I'll be honest. Like, what the F? And then it just goes ahead and deploys, and now it's live. Oh my God. That is redonkulous. Wait, what's happening? Why am I not seeing like the full page? Okay, this is a sample page. So I think I deployed it. It's like, okay, it's a different URL. It's on this page ID 8 thing. So I'm going to open it in a new tab. Oh my God. So again, it's probably not what I would choose, but this is motion, it works, and it came up with it all completely by itself, and it just works out of the box. Donkulous. So to summarize, it actually works. It works in a way that is both responsive for mobile and works great on desktop. It comes up with great motion ideas, which are really hard to do on WordPress website properly. And then it basically just sits there, and I can prompt it to do all of my work. Like this replaces, in a sense, I think, both a designer and a developer for my WordPress websites. And I can just try and run things very, very quickly. We want to update an image on the Teams page with like a new VC that invested us. No problem, go. We want to add a new page that is for a comparison tab. No problem, go. Like this speed is so hard to get at right now in WordPress. And I think if they can do this, they can probably go much further and basically fix all the websites. Like, I'm so excited about this. As someone who's been struggling with WordPress for years, this is a real game changer. Good job, Kinsey people.